concept of how moms over 40 can solve problems while building relationships all at the same time, guys. So this is what works. I'm gonna kind of describe to you the manual process for what works. And of course, guys, if you are struggling to make any sales, struggling to build your brand, struggling to break through your ideal customer profile, and you're a luxury pet mom over 40, then this is definitely for you. So this is what works, guys. This is what worked for me. Basically, what you want to do, you want to join a bunch of communities, and when you join those communities, you want to be solving a particular problem of another person, while also inviting that person to do something. In my particular case, I'm going to quickly describe to you what I did in this community, school community, and this is a AI automation community. And what I did is I did very interesting tactic. This tactic is, oh my God, it works like a clock. But the only way I could describe it to you guys is by literally explaining to you what I did. So this is what I did. I jumped into community, and when I jumped into community, and that, think of it, that could very well be your routine, guys. This could be a very interesting routine to build relationships and grow your business. So what I did is I jumped into one of the communities, in these communities, and I kind of scrolled around and described the whole process, what kind of automation we're building for luxury pet moms over 40, the feudal lords, and UGC creators that serve those bougie boss moms over 40. And I kind of described the whole automation that we're building, how we're using all sorts of AI tools, and how we're using what the workflow looks like. And what I did is I just described the whole kind of solution for what it does, and how to increase its engagement on TikTok, and how to use this solution, this Freedom Fusion automation, to get results, how to get categorized on FYU page, and do that in context of not really having to learn anything, but rather just kind of following the instructions that you get prescribed directly by AI, by those Freedom Fusion automations. So I started describing the whole process, and of course what I did is I looked at the GOAT, who was like the main person of the community, and I looked at what are they talking about. Guys, remember, the key is you always want to be with a wolf pack. If you don't connect yourself with a wolf pack, you will quickly get outgunned. So the real secret, guys, for building relationships is to always be part of the wolf pack. And the best way to do that, it's kind of like when you go to prison. The same way, when you go to prison, you don't really want to end up in a situation where you kind of constantly get picked on. What you want to do, you want to literally like beat up the most toughest person in prison that you can. And the same goes in the real life when it comes to, and thank you guys for joining. Thank you for joining and allocating a little bit of your time. My name is Rome Wells, and I figured I'd go ahead and tell you guys how to build relationships using some of the techniques that have been working for me. This is a perfect opportunity for many moms over 40 learn how to do so across different types of digital communities. So this way you could make more money for your business and start getting results. And what I'm doing right now is describing the manual processes and what it would take for you to do that, and what works for me. And I just noticed that a lot of moms over 40 are not really doing that. I wanted to let you guys know like how to do this, how to create relationships, so this way you can finally start making more money for your luxury pet brand. I know many of you guys are building your beautiful pet brand. You love pets, cats, and dogs. You want to take care of them. You want to have more fun with your pets, cats, kids, and dogs. And I know, guys, it takes a little bit of time to build those relationships, but it feels like any kind of content that you post, it kind of, you don't get anything. It's crickets, and I totally understand this. This is the reason. Oh, what you're doing? What I'm doing, I'm actually heading, I literally just spent a little bit of time at my brother's house. I was just chilling with a Doberman, Jax, his name is Jax, and we also got 3 cats, hairless cats. So we got 2 dogs and 3 cats, hairless cats. Sometimes I show it to you guys in my community over here on YouTube and in the shirts. So today was just one of those relaxation days, just kind of chilling with my brother's dog, and just kind of laying down and watching Halo on Netflix. That was my day. So, and but I also wanted to talk about some of the things that I did that really helped me create new relationships. And those techniques are not described anywhere, guys. This is people just don't describe them. They kind of just tell you like what they're doing, but they don't really describe to you like how to build the relationships so this way you make more money. And this is the hardest part, believe it or not, for many moms over 40. They just simply don't know how to build those relationships. And the reason why is because of that preconceived notion that you need to sell something, when in reality it's quite the opposite. Instead of you having that preconceived notion of needing to sell something, instead reverse the polarity of your approach and see what other people are struggling with in some of those communities. And of course, one of the communities, just to give you an example for how I do this, for how I build relationships, one of the communities was Andy's community. And Andy, he's a very powerful goat from China. He's really good with all sorts of AI content-driven automations. And what I did is I learned how to interact with, and hello, we got Rochas, we got Baja, we got a lot of interesting folks over here. And thank you guys for jumping in on this beautiful sunny day. I'm hoping that you guys are having a good time and enjoying this Saturday. And yeah, so let's get back into what I was saying. So what I did is I joined a couple of communities, and what I typically do, guys, I don't join too many communities. A lot of mobs over 40 make a mistake of joining way too many communities, and then you get lost, and then people don't trust you for anything you post, because it just, any message that you post on a community comes out sort of like you spamming. And a lot of gurus tell you like you need to join a lot of communities, you need to post your offer, but this is incorrect, guys. You only need like few communities, and inside of those communities you want to be building relationships. So here's how it works. I'm going to quickly describe it to you guys. This is sort of like getting a mental surgery in your brain to help you figure that out, but it works like a clock, I promise you. What I'm about to do is describe to you how to create relationships with other people in a community to help you grow your business, so this way you can make more money for your TikTok shop dropshipping store. And of course, guys, the first step, what I do is I join the community, like for example Andy's community, and I start going through different posts to see what people are talking about. And of course, not only that, I also make a post myself. But when I make a post, I would tell people, hey guys, look, we're building something for luxury pet moms over 40. We're building a very good automation that helps them show up on that would help their content to show up on FYU page on TikTok, and helps them reduce the fatigue for needing to understand what to post, what to say, etc. And we have a bunch of automations, and this is what we're going through. So what I do is I describe the whole process, but also what I do is I invite people to build together those automations for luxury pet moms over 40. And I let people know that, so this way when they see the use case, they have something to, to earn some money from. And now keep something in mind, sometimes you will go through this whole hurdle of posting things and you just don't get any responses, but you still keep going, you're still describing your journey. And what I also do, I always reference a goat. I don't create a post in somebody's community without referencing a goat. The goat has to be present in every post, guys. This is absolutely what changed it all around, because think about it, we're like, humans are like a wolf pack. If you disconnect yourself from a wolf pack, then you're not going to succeed, guys. Like, think about wolves. When they always hang around with the whole pack of wolves, they're together. And then typically what happens when a wolf on its own, then next thing you know, the wolf slowly kind of fades away from the wolf pack, and then dies slowly in the forest or whatever. So the same exact thing when it comes to communities. So what really helped me elevate the relationship building game was, number one, making a post describing how I'm serving the feudal lords, specifically in my particular case, luxury pet moms over 40. And the second thing I do is and with every post I create, I don't just create a random post. It goes through the whole process, guys, describing precisely what kind of AI automation, what kind of workflow we're building. Now, keep something in mind, if you don't have anything like this to describe, don't worry. We show you how to, join our community. We'll show you what you could talk about and what you could describe, so people can resonate with you and start connecting with you on a deeper level and start helping you. Like, here's what else we do. In addition to describing the whole process of what we're building, we're also inviting people in a process of making money together, and always referencing a goat. Always, because goats always have some sort of a content in their communities. Like for example, and with Andy, one of the Chinese goats, Andy, what he has in his community, he has lots of automations, lots of incredible automations. But I already know that typical mom over 40 is not going to be able, her brain is not going to be strong enough to go ahead and wrap around the goats automation specifically for their TikTok shop drop shipping journey. So to build the whole thing, to build all those systems and make it super personalized for that mom. I already know that is practically impossible. And this is the reason why you guys got to pick a niche. Sooner or later, you're going to become really good in the niche. You're going to become the goat of your own niche. So sooner or later, you will become that goat, guys. Just like whoever's community you join that happens to be that belongs to some goat, the same way that is going to happen with you. But keep something in mind, like you got to have a niche. And of course, guys, once you start creating posts and referencing goats constantly, your posts are going to be, people going to be liking those posts because they're going to see that you are actually acknowledging the goat and they understand exactly what you're referring to. And of course, you got to watch a couple of the videos from the goat. You need to understand like what exactly are they building. Otherwise, you're not going to have any ideas for what to build, and you're just going to be slowly like fading away in a non-existence, kind of deviating yourself from the wolf pack. But as soon as you start referencing the goats, you're going to be together. You're going to be moving towards that journey. And the next thing what you want to do, guys, is see who are the people in the community asking questions. Specifically, when they ask a question, for example, today I noticed one of the feudal lords who had an interesting use case where he had a bunch of engineers that he would be in control of, where he would be sending them on job sites, and he wanted something that would allow him to kind of send an engineer to a job site, then get a timesheet from the engineer that is on a go, and then basically add some markup into a Google Sheet and send it back to as an invoice to whatever other company that this feudal lord deals with. And of course, like if you get something like this as a request and as a question, immediately like what happens is you don't see a lot of people responding and saying, oh, let me help you out, let me help you build this incredible automation for you to help you take control of the engineers on a go, so this way you could have everything fully like automated and have those engineers communicating with your AI. So this way if they have any questions, it's going to feel like they're talking to a human. Of course, you don't see people responding to, like if somebody says that. Why? Because their initial notion of kind of building something for themselves and not really having any plans to help anybody else in terms of like somebody who would just pop in randomly and mention something like this that is totally outside of your niche. But here's the cool part about it. If you disconnect yourself from your original niche for that split movement and pivot a little bit into another niche and just respond back to that particular feudal lord and say, look, this is a solution that I have for you. We could use iMessaging functionality to remind your contractors on a go using blue message of iMessage that they need to submit a timesheet. And by the way, we're going to connect them all. Here's the flow. If you like, what we could do is I could give you access into my environment into my N8N, for example, tech stack, and you could go and I could guide you. And then when you're ready, you could just transfer all of those automations into your own platform. This is the feudal guidance, and I'm getting all of this information brought back to me. And of course, and thank you guys. It looks like we got a lot of folks. Hello, I like I say, and subscribe. Thank you guys. I'm logging. Oh yeah, I could probably logging. Yeah, for sure. I could be freezing up, guys. But thank you guys for joining. And oh my God, I didn't think anybody's here, anybody's watching. I thought it was one of those dead lives today. but apparently I'm wrong. So guys, look, this works like a clock, what I just described. Why? Because the feudal lord, when the feudal lord saw that I offered personalized guidance, obviously, guys, you may say, well, Rome, I don't have time to be offering anybody personalized guidance. I kind of want to just spawn money. I don't really have time to guide anybody. And I get it, guys. I get it. But here's what I did. Here's how I went ahead and I wrap the whole Feudal Lord around my talent agency as well. What I did is I went ahead and I went live on YouTube, and I described the Feudal Lord's needs and Feudal Lord's wants, and invited other side hustlers to become part of my feudal army and become the feudal hustler to help the Feudal Lord in the process, and also learn and earn in the process, and also at the same time be able to finally have an opportunity to provide more, like make more money from other feudal lords. But the way I wrapped it around this particular kind of feudal lord, the way I wrapped it around, I said, look guys, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to help this feudal lord grow his feudal kingdom. Let's go ahead. Who's interested to help him out? You're going to get access to all of the tools and entire tech stack. Your alternative is going to be spending thousands of dollars per month, and sooner or later you need to do that anyway if you wanted to make money. So you might as well just join this opportunity. This is fire. It's only limited to one person. And of course, when I did that, I also interconnected my other feudal hustler, Bruno, and I referenced that, by the way guys, if you were to join, if you were to help this feudal lord serve the feudal lord's needs and wants, you're going to be reporting to my feudal hustler, Bruno. He's going to help you get onboarded into our Freedom Fusion system. And of course guys, by doing that, what I created is I created a pathway of opportunities for both the feudal lord and of course the side hustlers who are kind of looking at this message from a distance, from a far away distance, being super curious like what kind of opportunity that is. And when they start looking into entire case of what exactly we're trying to cook up, they see the entire solution being unwrapped in front of their eyes directly inside of that post on Skool. So what I like to do, I like to use this approach of unwrapping entire solution in front of multiple people in a single post. And not only that, and how do I do that guys? I do that by including threads. So threads is for you guys, if you're not using threads, it's going to be hard for you to make money, because with threads you can finally like show everything what you want to show to the feudal lords and everybody else around you. With standard platforms like TikTok or anything like this, you can't do that, because as you build your feudal kingdom, you're going to have many different solutions, many different automations, many different things, the benefits that you offer. And for you to be able to stitch everything together that makes sense for the feudal lord, the only way to do that is with threads. I haven't seen any other platform that can do so effectively. So what I always do is I use threads in the process. And when I include threads, the feudal lord follows the thread, and everybody else also follow the thread, and they'll be like, oh my God, that is fire. And I kind of want to be part of that feudal army. I kind of want to serve the bougie boss moms over 40. I kind of want to help them grow their feudal kingdom. I want to be part of it. I want to be part of that mission. But also they understand that not only are they, like their alternative is they're going to be spending thousands of dollars if they don't join the feudal army. So this is how I kind of build this whole thing. And by doing that, guys, I eradicate the need for having to pay money to any kind of freelancers, guys. How crazy is that? What I just described to you is a very easy path for you to spawn money by leveraging other people's skills without necessarily paying any money for those skills. How crazy is that, guys? Use that. You're going to be amazed if you use this functionality. So let's see. So we got a lot of folks over here. We got, yo, remember me? Of course I remember you. We just discussed this a few minutes ago, Robert. So well, not a few minutes for me, like maybe yesterday was like a few minutes ago. That's how that's how fast the time flies when you're in creativity. Guys, what we did, we whipped out several incredible Freedom Fusion automations for you that makes it super easy for you to engage on TikTok, snipe viral comments, create a viral script out of them, and respond back to people using combination of both iPhones. Your hub iPhone and spoke iPhone works like a clock. Perfect for UGC creators who are spawning 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 per month, and perfect definitely for the feudal lords. The cool part about this automation, it makes it easy to include all of the marketing angles for your particular product, program, or service. Include that in your remixed message that you're basically gonna construct in combination of getting that viral comment as you're scrolling on TikTok. So I hope that makes sense, guys. If you got lost already, don't worry, just rewatch my previous workshops. But this automation is absolutely insane. We're also going to be adding another automation that is going to make it possible for bougie boss moms to interact with your own avatar-based virtual assistant on your phone. And I'm not gonna describe tech stack over here for now, but think of it this way: you whip out a phone, you get a notification on your phone, and that notification tells you, "Hi, sis, go ahead and like doom scroll a little bit on TikTok." So you go ahead, you doom scroll on TikTok, and then you get prescriptive recommendations for what to do, for how to increase your TikTok account, and not only using your business account, but using in a combination of both business and personal accounts. And the automation uses all sorts of native algorithms of iPhone to pop up messages to and tell you to like basically respond to your own self, to your own viral comment that you're going to snipe from another video. So the best way I could describe to you guys is, think of it as the fuel for your luxury pet brand. So if you have a product that you're trying to resell and that product is not being sold, you created a video describing, I don't know, luxury pet brush, and nobody's buying that brush, nobody's looking at your content, you're getting like 1 or 2 views or three views, then all you got to do is turn on this automation steering up the pot, and it will walk you through the process of creating controversy on TikTok. And the way it does is it tells you like, "I says go ahead and scroll on TikTok." You scroll a little bit, but you scroll. You're gonna be like, and then it's gonna say, "I says, tell me, like, did you find your viral video yet?" And you'll be like, "I bet." And then it tells you, "I says, go ahead and look for a comment, viral comment." And you'll be like, "I bet I found one." And then boom, it takes a picture of that viral comment. Then it automatically mixes this picture up with your brand context for what you're trying to offer, based on your pain point, based on your solution, based on your offer, in combination with your dictated remix message. So what that means is, guys, you're gonna have full control of whatever the kind of content that you're gonna produce when you are promoting certain pet product, for example. So, and what do you get? You get a viral script, a prescriptive recommendation directly executed on your app, on your iPhone, inside of captions. It could also be CapCut, but you get those prescriptive guided recommendations on the go. So you could go ahead and create a fire-looking video describing, I don't know, luxury pet brush, and it would take that context, it would take your brand context, and it would take the viral comment, and it would mix everything together and just makes it easy for you to create a video. And then after that, it's going to go ahead and find another video on a TikTok and respond back to you and say, go ahead and jump into your spoke phone, and you're going to copy that viral comment from another video, and you're going to respond back to your very own self. I hope that makes sense, guys. It's a lot of information. Technically, your brain is not going to be able to register all of this information. It's only going to register once you start, like once I show you a couple of GOAT videos where the GOATs describe this strategy. But when they describe the strategy, they describe it manually. And I see that many of you just can't handle the manual overload. This is going to be quite impossible for you to kind of execute it manually on a consistent basis. Some of you can, but it's just, in grand scheme of things, when running a TikTok shop and ordering supplies from China and doing that on a constant scale and dealing with all sorts of other variables, you're easily going to forget about this strategy and you're never going to execute it again. So what we do is we operationalize those strategies. We make it super easy for you to grab those strategies and run them again. Don't forget about them. Stir up the pot. We always coming up with new names. We came up with a stirring up the pot automation. The reason why we came up with that name is because we wanted to create some controversy across multiple TikTok accounts. We already know what works from marketing standpoint. There is no point for us to tell you like, oh, go ahead and do this and do that. Your brain is not going to be able to register any of that. So we just skip all that, and instead we package all of this information directly into our Fit Infusion automations, and you simply interact with them on your iPhone. Not one iPhone, but 2 iPhones. Just to kind of give you a little bit of context, those 2 iPhones that I'm referring to, you just have literally like an iPhone like this. There you go, boom. Here's an automation. You open it up and you just run the automation, guys. And when you run the automation, you have a couple of them. You have BioSpice Social Blaster. This automation is absolutely insane. And like the way we use it is, a lot of people are visual creatures. They're not going to be like, oh, let me go ahead and read a paragraph. People can't even read a paragraph anymore, guys. Let's say many people's brains are so cooked You're not going to be able to penetrate through their brains unless you use some of those tactics that we described to you. And not just tactics that we describe, but the tactics that we operationalize into Freedom Fusion automations that you just can execute directly with the push of a button. We're also getting it to the level where you don't even have to press the button. You just get a straight up notification from our central system, Freedom Fusion System CRM, that's constantly looking at your socials and coming up with marketing angles based on whatever it is that you're doing in your daily life and prescribing you what you need to do. So this way you completely turn off your brain without having to think what to say, how to say it, how to promote a particular product, and have all of those prescriptive recommendations popping up on your phone and guiding you through the process of stirring up the pot, guiding you through the process of BioSpice Social Blaster, where you get to spice up your bio link and then blast it across socials. And like all of those things you easily forget, guys. You're not going to be able to remember that. I guarantee none of that is whatever I just described. You're not going to be able to execute that on a consistent basis. But if you use those Freedom Fusion automations, you will be able to execute them as routines on consistent basis. But we got even further. Right now we're integrating Gemini API real life functionality that makes it easy for you to communicate with almost like a real person with AI. Meaning the latency of the communication. I don't know if you guys play video games or whatever. The latency is so like amazing. It's so fast when you communicate through with this latest Gemini API live interface. You could communicate directly with your AI, and it's going to look like it's going to feel like you're talking to a real person, because it's not typically right now AIs, they're lagging behind in terms of, it pauses. It's not really super fast. But with the Google Gemini API, guys, it's a game changer. Now, how are we integrating that directly into Freedom Fusion automations? We make it easy for moms over 40 to interact directly with their customers through this through this AI bot interface. And customers can literally interface directly with your business, but through the process of really fast interface, where you could just communicate with a little bot, and it would be like listening to what you have to say, and you could pause it, you could literally interrupt it, and it would just understand right away that you interrupted it. The only way for you guys to understand it is to see some of our demo videos. And of course, guys, some of you will say, well, I'm not ready for that. I don't know how to do this. I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I should even bother learning about that. Guys, I get it, but oh, you gotta go. Yeah, no worries. So guys, look, at the end of the day, keep something in mind. Many of those functionalities that you're going through, guys, like Gemini API, whatever, all of those really weird stuff, just kind of remember, you're not going to be able to process all of this information, but what you will be able to process is you will be able to understand like how to use this for your business. What we're doing how we operationalizing Gemini API Live functionality is the latest one. What we're doing, we're integrating it directly into Freedom Fusion automations, meaning you could wink at the actual avatar itself on your phone, and it will understand context. It will communicate back with you. It's going to tell you, prescribe you the routines that you want to do, and it will look like a, how should I say it? It will look like almost like a regular bot that you communicate with, but it's going to have a interface of a digital sis or bougie boss mom. So this way you could kind of pick the personality and that kind of stuff. So I mean, you guys probably played around with Grok and seen something like this, but Gemini just basically destroyed Grok by providing the API functionality to that, guys. So now some of you will say, well, Rome, I don't get it. Like, how will that help me create relationships? Well, guys, look, the biggest opportunity in your life is happening now. You could be whipping out some of those incredible automations for your luxury pet brand to help you sell more products, help you monetize on those pets, cats, and dogs, and make it super easy for you, for your future you. Now, keep something in mind. If you don't do this, somebody else will do it. And of course, you don't want to be beaten by somebody else. Instead, you want to become somebody who makes money. But for you to make money, you need to understand, you need to kind of, how should I say it? Get together with the goats. The goats are very powerful people, guys. They're really smart. Like, how do you guys think I got to the level of being able to like whip out all of those automations, figure out all those different things, guys? If it wasn't for the goats in those communities, I don't think I'll be able to whip out anything. But typically what I do is I listen to the goats, and then sooner or later I kind of I kind of stop listening to anybody and just kind of push through and just build things and remove the distraction, complete distraction out of the way. And then I revisit and sometimes watch the goats again. That's kind of how the process works. It's never the other way around, guys. It's never like, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and like learn everything to infinity and not do anything. No, guys, here's how it works. Typically what happens is you're going to become the victim of prescriptive recommendations that exist in ChatGPT or any other algorithms. In order for you not to become the victim of those prescriptive recommendations, what you want to do, you want to inject your future self into prescriptive recommendations that make sense for your lifestyle. Now, guys, our Freedom Fusion automations solve a problem for TikTok shop dropshipping moms. Now, but also we get feudal lords who are just mesmerized by our automations. They love it so much that they come to contact us and say, hey, we want the same automations for us. And I'm like, I bet I'm not gonna stop them. I'm gonna be like, if you want those automations, squabble up. Let me get you connected with some of our feudal hustlers to hit the ground running. But it never, like when we do that, guys, we never chase business owners, the feudal lords that are outside of our niche. It's the other way around, guys. Like if a feudal lord comes from another niche and says, yo, I understand you guys are focusing on bougie boss moms and doing all those solutions for TikTok shop dropshipping. I understand that, but I recently came across your Freedom Fusion automations and I'm like completely mesmerized by them. Can you guys do something for us? And of course, we're not going to stop. We're going to be like, let's go ahead and connect you with an appropriate feudal hustler to take you through the whole process of finally whipping out some really good solutions. Let's get you into our Freedom Fusion System Solution division. So the way I designed my talent agency is by dividing it across multiple divisions. So we have multiple divisions, guys. One of them is ratings, solution, learning, and group. So when feudal hustlers and business owners, the feudal lords, join our company, we tell them, hey guys, look, we could whip out a solution for you. It's going to be custom solution as part of our solution division of Freedom Fusion System. We could connect you with a feudal hustler who can work together with you to help you customize that solution. If you want to get started, jump into our community where we're going to have light level of conversation together with you, where you could follow me, Ron Wells, ask me basic questions, heck, even subscribe if you wanted to get additional encouragement, accountability, and support. But if you really want to hit the ground further and take some of those solutions and operationalize them and make them fire, then definitely this is when you want to join our feudal incubators, and this is where we could help you more. Sometimes feudal lords don't want to join any feudal incubators, guys. So women could give a damn if a journey nearly killed you. They just show up when the victory parade starts. That's a harsh statement, but it's not just women, it's everybody, guys. Like, here's what I did. I realized that, people are like that. They don't care about what your journey is. But when I tell people I made $600,000 this year, then it perks their ears. And I'm like, how come you're not listening all those other stories that I'm producing over here? And then they were like, no, I want something. But guys, that shouldn't be like, build the relationships in the process. Or don't wait till the victory comes along. Be part of the victory, guys. Join together, join the feudal army, join the feudal forces to lead the army of side hustlers and bougie boss moms to freedom, and show to everybody that you mean business, guys. And one of the ways to do that is to build. But of course, guys, not everybody can do that, and we get it. It's hard to go ahead and join somebody's feudal army and do something for a purpose of, I don't know, like helping somebody else's feudal kingdoms grow. I get it, it's hard. But you know what's harder, guys? Being broke. That's harder. That is harder, guys. This is why I'm always, and thank you guys, have a blessed day. Thank you guys for joining and jumping into this. Your pain and struggles are invisible to them. Your success is the only part they'll pretend to understand. Guys, unfortunately, that is the reality. Like, no matter what you say, no matter how you say it, sooner or later, people are not going to be like resonating with you. But here's the thing. If you constantly showing up and you are introducing the following, I'm going to give you guys secret skills right now on this call that will penetrate through the armor of any ideal customer profile. And I'm going to give you those skills right now. I'm going to describe to you real quick that will just pierce through. Like, nothing worked for me before. I'm going to tell you exactly what works. Ready, guys? And I'm gonna, not only am I gonna describe to you, I'm gonna show it to you, okay guys? So notice what I'm about to do is I'm gonna describe you a skill that if you use this skill will change your entire marketing game. It's called modulating your tonality of your voice. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate it right now, okay guys? Yo, squabble up, squabble up, Bougie Boss Moms. Let me spill some tea. I got something brewing for you. You're not gonna believe this. Notice how I went ahead and I changed that tonality and how I kind of twisted around and pitched the voice a little bit more and then kind of increased it, reduced it, accelerated, right? So this is what you guys want to be doing. And thank you guys liked and subscribed. And oh my God, thank you guys. Thank you for subscribing. This is amazing. So guys, once again, notice how I did this modulation of your voice, guys. Now keep something in mind. A lot of people are not really describing any of those things. They're just kind of going along their journey, not describing anything for how to succeed. I don't like that, guys. I literally describe to you many of those combinations, so this way you don't get cooked, guys. I see so many moms over 40 getting cooked, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I don't know how to succeed. I feel so bad." And I'm like, "Have you tried any? Have you tried any of those techniques that I was just talking about? Literally, have you even tried to watch one single workshop from the beginning, from start to finish, all the way?" And the answer is like, no. I'd rather watch TikTok. I'd rather be TikTok zombie. Now I get it, guys. I get it. I mean, it's dopamine, and I know. Heck, I'm a victim of that dopamine too. I mean, who doesn't like to have a little bit of doom scrolling journeys on TikTok? I mean, I get it. But sooner or later, guys, you gotta ask yourself, wait, what the heck am I doing? This is what you gotta ask yourself. Once again, guys, notice the modulation of the voice, how I'm producing the modulation, how I'm like increasing, making the pitch, reducing the tonality, slowing it down. Pay close attention to this. This is a skill that will allow you to penetrate through the armor of any kind of audience, any kind of profile, especially as you're doing this across multiple parts of your life cycles, as you're building your brand. And if you start being extremely boring, then people are gonna quickly lose focus. So start modulating your voice, start introducing this skill, and once again begin accelerating and pivoting and twisting it and turning it, and always related to some sort of a topic, common denominator. That's the key, guys. So what I did, I just kind of quickly iterated through all of those different skills. Now guys, I talked about building relationships. I talked about Gemini Live API automation. That is absolutely insane. I talked about many different things for you to guys kind of hit the ground running and start making money from. But the question is, the ultimate question for you guys is, will you actually do any of those things? Will you start architecting your future you? Will you be serving the feudal lords? Will you be building those Fluid Fusion automations that will help feudal lords finally grow their feudal kingdom? Will you do that? Or will you be perhaps kind of a silent observer? And of course, guys, I get it. It's really hard to build relationships in a modern day world. But what really worked out for me was just literally reaching out to people and saying, hey, look, I could guide you. And if you want that guidance, definitely let me know. But the way you don't want to reach out in reverse, you want to find a person who actually is looking for that guidance. So this is where it's going to make a huge difference. If you do it in reverse and just say, hey, you know what, I could guide you, that never works. Instead, what you want to do is you want to go to community, like Andy's community or my FUD community or my private community. The bottom line is you got to go to some sort of a community, and then in there you got to find some goat, and you got to create an article that relates to the goat and promote the goat. As soon as you start doing that, trust me, you guys are going to have success. That's the first part, but only if you combine it with finding somebody who's truly struggling out there, asking for help, and people are not really responding. And you could quickly identify, heck, you could even have an automation that identifies those kind of people and just comes back to you, and then you'll reach out to them. You could also do it this way. But what I like to do when it comes to building relationships, I like to do manual injection of relationship building directly inside of the community, because I could repurpose that manual injection across multiple communities with ease. But it has to be like really high quality type of interaction between the person who is struggling and the person, and like me, myself, and my feudal hustlers. Hello. So we got a democratic jumper. What a quite an interesting name. Thank you guys for joining, and bringing this opportunity for me to describe one of the most interesting skills that you could develop to start making money, and it's relationship building. Now guys, I already described the whole relationship building technique, but yeah guys, like don't be afraid to jump into a thread and offer a solution to somebody who is struggling. It's going to be exponentially easier for you to do so, especially if you're already building some of your own automations, your own solutions, your own workflows. It's just going to be super simple for you to pull off. You're not even going to think twice for how to do it. It's just going to come naturally to you, and people are going to see your response, and they're going to gravitate towards that response. They're going to be like, oh my god, I want to learn from this person. And of course you could get like $200-300 an hour. We're talking about really good money that you could create on a go just by providing consulting. Now keep something in mind guys, it's not for everybody. Not everybody is willing to go ahead and sacrifice a little bit of your time kind of going out there engaging with people in some random communities and you know, diving deep into a problem. And while you're diving deep into a problem, into a conversation, you're showing all of your automations in a single post. How crazy is that? I mean, if you guys do that, works like a clock. Now how do you know like what to show? How can you be exact? How can you show something that is highly relevant? Guys, keep something in mind, it's okay to be not highly relevant. It's okay to be approximately good enough. Don't worry, don't worry. All you need to do is you need to recognize that somebody is having a problem, reach out to them and get other people involved in the process. Your feudal hustlers, your feudal army, and of course get the GOAT involved into the process as well, in some sort of a referenced way where you want to reference the GOAT. You always want to be going back to the GOAT. Why? Because people are going to be able to relate. They're not going to understand who you are unless you connect yourself to the leader of the pack. That it always works, guys. This is why you see a lot of people doubling down on trends and using trends in their marketing. It's the same thing with the GOATs in those communities. The key is to constantly offer a sacrifice of your time to community GOATs. You're going to easily understand who the GOAT is, who the owner of the community. The key, your biggest secret of success is promoting the GOAT. As crazy as it sounds, guys, that's going to be your biggest secret. If you wanted to build relationship, you got to promote the GOAT. Like if you don't promote the GOAT, you will be like alone in a wolf pack. No, you're not going to be able to create the relationships. You're going to be fully isolated. You're going to feel like something is not working for you. You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to be like, oh, I'm not making any sales. But the reason why is because you have that preconceived notion that you need to sell something, when in reality you need to get approximately good enough and then find somebody who has a problem and then present that solution in an approximately good enough manner to the person who's struggling. And that's exactly what I did, and I'll show you guys how in my workshops over here. You could take a look at my previous workshops where I literally lay out the foundation and show you how I'm doing this directly inside of the community. Now keep something in mind, guys, this is not for everybody. This is somebody who, like, if you are building your luxury pet brand and you wanted to make money, you use this technique. But I see a lot of people struggling as well who are not necessarily building their TikTok shop, and they're just they just want to build some business, and they come to this channel and they're like, oh my god, that's kind of what I want to do. I know I'm not doing TikTok shop, but that's what I'm struggling with. And I find it surprising that there's not a lot of help for moms over 40 across any of the channels that I looked around. And when I saw the deficiency in their minds for how to succeed and how overwhelmed they are, and I realized I gotta build something really good, but it has to be hyper focused around luxury pet moms over 40. Those moms have incredible amount of money, guys. You have no idea how much money they have, like insane amount of money. For them, like, I wanted to create a brand like Pepsi in their mind. So keep something in mind, Pepsi actually did created a drink after my company's name called Freedom Fusion Mountain Dew Special Edition of 2024. Take a look, guys, whenever you get a chance. So guys, look, here's what I want you to understand. I want you to, and yes, I'm not capping, take a look at my bio link, guys. Pepsi, billion-dollar company, created a drink. Guys, look, you could do it. I didn't have any marketing skills either. I didn't have any pitching skills. I didn't have any of those skills. I didn't know how to build relationships and go to those communities. And I didn't even know what niche to pick. I was all over the place. I picked every niche. I was like, I want to be everywhere at the same time. And I'm like, man, that was such a big failure. Although I learned a lot for the first 7 months of me going through multiple trials and tribulations, trying to approach every single niche. And of course, sooner or later, you're gonna realize that this will make you, this will destroy you. You gotta ground yourself. You gotta anchor yourself. And that's what I did. I hyper focused only on luxury pet moms over 40, who are building their TikTok shops, who love their pets, cats, and dogs, and wanted to make money and get other people to promote their pet products. And that's what I focused on, and that's what I went through with this channel. Now, in the process, I would be jumping into some of those solutions and show some of those incredible solutions to moms over 40, but other people started noticing that, and they were like, oh my God, I kind of want a solution for my own thing. And I'll be like, I'm not going to stop you. Join our community and squabble up with a couple of my feudal hustlers to help you wrinkle some of those solutions out. I formed, as part of my Freedom Fusion System talent agency, I formed 4 divisions. One of them is rating, the other one is solution, the other one is learning, and the other one is group. I divided the company in this way, and right now we're building, as part of our solution division, we're building Freedom Fusion automations, innovative automations on multiple iPhones for moms over 40. And as we're doing that, we are building a way, an opportunity for them to save incredible amount of time, helping their brands get noticed. And to do that, there's a lot of bells and whistles that's taking place. You got to have all sorts of AI automations prescribing you all sorts of things on a go, so this way you don't really have to be like a process prisoner to a computer. And there's just so much stuff and being involved. And of course, guys, as we're building that journey, a lot of moms over 40 getting mesmerized by that, and they be like, man, I kind of want that. I do want to build my own TikTok shop, dropshipping store. So this way, because I'm tired of creating content, I want other people to create content. I'm tired of getting other people rich. I want other people to get me rich. And of course, when they resonate with that message, they come to us, they join our Freedom Fusion Flip workshops, which is basically the workshops where you learn how to build your feudal kingdom and either keep it or flip it. They get mesmerized by our content. They proceed with trying out some of those automations for themselves. They join our Thread Stack subscription as well, which is basically like you get access to multiple guides, thousands of workshops, premium workshops, access to our Freedom Fusion automations, and you get encouragement, accountability, and support at a higher priority than the free members, etc., 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 etc. I think you guys got the idea that there's a lot to cover, guys, and your brain is not going to be able to process all of this information, guys, all in one shot. I highly recommend what you do is you review some of our architectural workshops where you get to see how we're architecting those automations, where you get to see how we're figuring out all those dynamics behind TikTok Shop, how we're figuring out what is GMV score, how do we can increase it, how do we figure out what product to focus on and what to sell, how do we not get scammed by all of those Chinese suppliers, and all of those different things, guys. Hopefully that will make sense. I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm super excited for you, and take care.